You joke about it, Jason. I did hit refresh, and it was shortly after that. I don't know if that's what it was, but we hit refresh, and here we go. We've got numbers here. Bud was just talking about, and that's a great point, what I like to call the warehouse full of red boxes out here in the Panhandle in West Texas. You see them just stacked one on top of the other, and by the end of the night, this all goes red. And this is what Democrats are up against in these urban centers, trying to counteract all of that vote from these smaller counties that comes in Republican favor, and you see the splits on this: 90% to 9, 88% to 12, 94 to 5. I mean, it's never kind to Democrats in this part of the state here. Much more favorable to them, of course, the big cities. Beto O'Rourke pulling away in extraordinary fashion here in Dallas County at this hour. Again, this is the early vote that we're looking at right now. We're seeing that coming in. Bud was talking about Collin County being a good bellwether here in North Texas, just because it's so diverse, it's grown so much. This is what Collin County looks like in the early going. Another area of the state that I like to look at that gives, I think, sort of a good bellwether check is Williamson County, just to the north of Austin. Traditionally has been a Republican stronghold. This is one of those flipper counties, I like to call them, that in 2018, Governor Abbott handily won this county in his race for governor, and Beto O'Rourke narrowly won this county in his race for Senate. So it kind of split in both directions there. You can see tonight in the very early going, again, we can't stress that enough, as Bud was saying, the night is young, but in the very early going with that early vote there, O'Rourke out to about a 5,079 vote lead there. You're not seeing anything, in case you're just now joining us, you're not seeing anything from Harris County, which is the biggie here in Texas, by far the most populous county, by far the most vote-rich county. That's because polls have been left open there until 8 o'clock tonight on a judge's order, because some of those polling locations there had some issues earlier in the day with opening late and so forth, and so that is not populating. Also, a friendly spot for Republicans for sure, Bell County, just south of Waco. We're not seeing anything from there. Similar thing, a lot of polling sites there opened late today, so they have been ordered to stay open until 8 o'clock and continue to allow voters through. And lastly, El Paso, which is in Mountain Time, their early vote will come in just after 8 o'clock because they're delayed, 7 o'clock their time, 8 o'clock our time. We'll start to see those numbers. But again, as we look statewide here, this is where we sit with governor right now. And, just to tamp down anybody's expectations or their panic or whatever it may be right now, we're at 2.651 million votes at this point here. Early voting in Texas, there were more than 4.5 million votes cast. So we're seeing a portion of the early vote, and that doesn't even take into account what we've seen at the polls today. So, as we were saying, the night very young here. But this is where we sit with governor, 52-47 at this point. Lieutenant governor, 50-48. That has tightened up considerably from just a few minutes ago. And as we've said, the polls, going into today had kind of been suggesting that we would see a tighter race here. This is a rematch between Patrick and Collier from 2018, that we would see a tighter race here than what we're seeing in the governor's race. And the tightest race, I think a lot of people have expected to be this one, the Paxton Garza one. But right now, anyway, he's got a 5-point spread there that he's leading by 109,000 votes or so. But again, and then with this one, an odd one, because I was showing you the Dallas County vote just a moment ago for the governor's race. I tried to punch Dallas County on this Garza-Paxton one. We're not getting the numbers yet for that. So you see some skewing going on between these two races. We're not comparing apples and apples here at this point. But that will work out as we head through the night. At any rate, we're going to keep on collecting these numbers as they come down, Jason. But finally, they are coming down. The computers are talking. Good.